Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major love.
What up? I have the one and only Andrew Murphy in the building.
What's going on, man?
What's good, bro?
What's going on, man? I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, it's good to have you back, man. You know, you've been putting in that work. For those of you that don't know, Andrew is an undefeated middleweight professional boxer. I had the opportunity of checking out this rising sensation when he was an amateur. Now he's turned professional. And how was that first fight, man?
Man, look, I couldn't be more thankful. It was really just a dream come true, and I just continuing to grow and continuing to get in there and work. And I got my third fight coming up here on June 10th down there on the UFC Fight Pass, and I'm looking forward to it.
So what was something you had to work through, man, besides the jitters in that first fight? Because I know it was, you was very patient. You took your time in that first fight. You wasn't in there rushing, trying to knock your opponent out. Sometimes that's just the way it goes in Mexico. But did you think your opponent was, a tougher one that you expected?
Yeah, I mean, he was game. He knew how to survive, and I definitely landed some big shots on him. And he took them real well. So props to him, But I just, as far as just different adversities, like you said, that I was facing. Definitely like fighting outside of the country, fighting in Mexico. And all of a sudden it's like, all right, you got no headgear. Okay, you got little gloves. You know what I mean? It's all good, though. That's what I train for. This is what I love. This is what I train for. And just those little things, and plus the guy was a southpaw, right? How many people that are fighting southpaws in the debut and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So it's like, luckily, my edge that I had going into it is that I was sparring Bryant Perella because we were in camp at the same time. So I was sparring Bryant Perella when he was getting ready for Tony Harrison the whole time. So I had great southpaw work. So it was no thing to me. It was just go out there, box, have fun, and really just enjoy the moment. You only get one pro debut.
Did you learn anything from sparring Perella, who was stepping in there with the former world champion?
A lot. I learned a lot from Bryant. He's a great guy. I mean, shout out to Bryant. He really took me up under his wing, and we talk a lot just about life and boxing and yeah, he's a really good dude. I learned a lot from him.
Man, Andrew, I still think about the time when I had the opportunity to see you spar down there, man. And you stopped one of your sparring partners, and for those of you that don't know, he was down there with a lot of people, but Chris Eubanks was down there at the time, man, training. And I had the opportunity to see the sparring, and when the sparring going down in Bodyhead Island, they are making full contact. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no walk in the park. But
you gotta come ready.
Yeah, you gotta come ready. And he had one fighter that was talking shit to him. He ended up stopping him. I said, okay. So I said, I need to pay attention to what's going on with Andrew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's Roy been up to, man?
I was not about to have none of this.
What advice has Roy gave you since turning professional? you was able to get your first fight out the way. What was the best advice Roy Jones gave you that night?
The thing that Roy, and that he tells this to all his fighters, he always just says, stay smart, stay composed, and just be thinking, constantly be thinking. I think that a lot of people, I think more people could understand that the difference between the amateurs and the pros is the amateurs is aggression, right?
Okay.
You're trying to go get. In the pros, it better be controlled. If not, you're going to get your head torn off. You know what I mean? So you got to be controlled. You got to be methodical. You got to really be thinking in there. And the amateurs, they don't have that same effect.
Did you truly feel the effect? Did your first opponent, was he able to land any shots on you? I mean, were you able to feel that effect?
No. He didn't land any big shots. Right off the rip though, because he was a southpaw, we headbutted, right? I mean, the amateurs, you never really, if you do headbutt, it's not really a big deal because you got your headgear on, right? So we headbutted really quick, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just took it as, okay, cool. That's what it's like. All right, cool. We can move on.
So you're just coming off of your second fight. You earned a damn dominating knockout, man.
Thank you.
How was that feeling to you, bro?
Man, it was good. It was good. It was just great because I had some friends and family from Pensacola come out. Yeah. And I even had some people fly down from my state, Washington State, Yakima. Shout out to Yakima, Washington. But I had some people fly down from that, and it was just great. It was, for me, it was just nice to get back in there and do what I love.
Who was that you were sitting next to? Was that your pops or your trainer? And one of your trainers?
Yeah. Or what? Longbeard?
Yeah.
Yep, that's my dad.
Okay, that's what's up. I saw you chilling there with your pops, man. That must have been a good feeling. Your pops is able to go with you to your second professional fight, man.
Definitely. He's all the way out there in Washington State, but I know I have him with me every day when I'm training. He always checks on me. How you doing? How you feeling? How just everything, and he's been a huge supporter of mine, even through, the amateurs and everything like that. And he's my best friend, so it's like to have him there with me was everything.
I know it, man. And, I was looking at you chilling. I say, man, I wonder what that feeling's like, because, my pops wasn't into sports. But when I look at you all, it goes for anybody. When I look at father, son, Michael Williams and all them, I say, man, it must be something to be able to compete in front of your father, you know what I'm saying, and your mother,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. It's a blessing, it really is a blessing to have, his support and to have him, be able to come down there. My mom was actually out there too. So just for them to be there and support me, it's like, that's everything,
What has been your biggest challenge there, Andrew? As a professional fighter, what have you had to work on more?
A lot of the things that I'm working on are, I guess I couldn't say there has been any major challenges because growing up, I was always in the gym with pros, right? So I was always learning a pro style. And just between my different trainers that I've had, they always taught me a pro style. So it's been not so much a huge change stylistically or a challenge. It wasn't a problem stylistically, or wasn't challenged stylistically, but the biggest thing is just adding little elements to my game here, little elements here, little craftiness here, little bit here. You know what I mean? And just all those little different things, man, it's like you add those all up, now you got something.
Hey, I'll tell you, Andrew, man, I swear to God, I asked somebody, right? I said, hey, take a look at this cat right here, right? I said, take a look at this guy. And it was your first fight, your first professional fight. So I didn't tell them anything. I didn't tell you who trained them, none of that. You know what they told me? They say, who's training him? I said, I'm not for sure, man. I'm not for sure. I just want you to check it out because, just to tell me what your thought process. He said, has anybody got in contact with Roy? Because look, he was saying that looked just like, he said, God damn, man, his fight style is just like Roy, man. I'm like, yeah, man, I know him, man.
Well, it's like Roy says, he can never make another Roy Jones. Everybody, God always gifted all of us with different talents, different ways of thinking, different bodies. You know what I mean? So we all can't be the same. But like for me, it's just a blessing to even be compared. But if I'm around the guy all the time and I'm learning all his little tricks he's instilling in me, you know what I mean? And it's like, how could I not at least look a little like him? You know what I mean? And just
Man.
becoming that, like, I like to believe I'm an athletic fighter. You know what I mean? That I'm
Yeah,
athletic and
yeah.
I have decent reflexes. You know, of course, people are going to start to make the comparison if I start adding those little things to my game.
Man, your mannerisms and behavior is crazy, man. Alexander asks, is Roy the type of trainer to get in there with you and spar?
So I've never sparred Roy. But we definitely, like, you know, we got a pretty good relationship. So we always like mess around with each other, shadow box with each other and stuff. And I know, like, leading up to the Tyson event, we would always like shadow box in front of each other and stuff. And it was always good. It was like that in itself was crazy to me. I'm like, man, I'm in front of Roy Jones right now. Like,
Yeah.
So
I mean, were you able to see him getting ready? Did you see part of his camp?
Oh yeah, I was there the whole time. And that's the thing with me is that so I stay in Pensacola now. So
Yeah.
I'm always in camp. You know what I mean? It's like I don't have to. A lot of these guys, you know, they'll go, oh, I got to go to camp. I got to go away. No, I locked in anyway. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm locked in all the time. That's just my mentality. Is like a lion doesn't have to be like, oh man, I better go hunting here soon. Let me go stir away. No, I'm always ready. I get up and run. Why? Because I gotta eat.
I feel you on that, man. You know, your mindset is always focused on what I've seen since day one. Real talk. I know you asked me what I thought. I didn't want to say anything. I was like, dang, I'm just enjoying, you know, meeting you for the first time and then seeing you go in there and get that work in.
Man,
and you can tell when somebody's just going in there to play around or they're not taking it serious. But y'all doing a damn good job down there at Bodyhead Island. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
You know,
I really have a good group of people around me that you know help me out, and between nutrition and training, and it's just a good group of people, and I'm just really thankful for everybody that I have around me.
What's your training day like, bro? You know, what you got going on every day?
Well, you know, I get up, I run, I do my sprints, you know, stuff like that, my sit-ups, push-ups, all that stuff, you know. Then I work as a boxing trainer, so I actually train like you know, like families or kids, you know, during the day, and then I head out to Bodyhead Island and I finish.
Oh, so you
out
train outside of Bodyhead Island? Okay, where you train these kids at?
I train at a Title Boxing Club. So
all right, that's what's up. That's what's up. I think you told me that one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I'm around the sport all day, like every day. You know what I mean? So I can't help but just continue to think about it and continue to grow.
Are they showing you love down there at Pensacola more than they did before?
Man, yeah, I'm really thankful for the people that I have around me out here in Pensacola, because they're really pushing to you know, I'm really pushing to get that community outreach, you know, and to work on different things. We're working on some different things now as far as, you know, getting out into the community, but definitely because like I said, we had some come out from Pensacola to Alabama for the fight.
Hey, I meant to tell your audience too, those fans out here, you know, Andrew, you know, let me tell you this, when it comes to someone like myself, like I did a video with him as an amateur, and his video did more views than a lot of professionals that I put out there. That's because he actually did something with the video, and people are tuning in to see. This guy only has 2 professional fights, and this video was when he was an amateur, and it was like over 500 views. So you have to put your work in, man. And I always wanted to tell you, man, appreciate you doing your homework and promoting yourself.
Man, well, I appreciate you, guys, because without people like you, then I don't even have no platform to speak on. So without people like you, man, it means a lot to me that, you know, you have me on here and stuff. You know, and especially everybody back home too. Big shout out to everybody back home. You know, like I said, I'm from a small town and everything. So I just want to say the support from them has been unreal, because it's like they love me no matter what. It was like when even though I'm out here in Pensacola now, I still try and show as much love as I possibly can to them. You know, and I try and make sure that they're always square. I always talk to the reporters and everything, and you know, I really love everybody, you know, that shows me love and supports me.
So what do you know about your opponent head in there, Andrew? I mean, is he
Coming
a
in June 10th?
southpaw still? What?
Coming in June 10th. You know, he'll be one thing I know is that he's gonna try to come and take me out, but I ain't gonna let him.
Okay,
So,
that's what's up.
you know what I mean? That's what he's got to try and do. You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, at the end of the day, I can't really worry too much about what they're gonna try and do, because I know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to implement. You know what I mean? And I just know that Roy, with Roy's training and just my training that I've had in my experience and the great sparring partners and stuff like that, I know that I'm ready for whatever he tries to bring to the table. So I don't worry about too much of that.
Absolutely. Let me put this up here. Carlos Villanueva.
Carlos,
Say, can you give a shout out to my bro Andrew for me, and I'm proud of this guy. Much love. Andrew always get a shout out for World Combat Sports. He know what it is. Hey, he was in Alabama the last time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man, Carlos, let me tell you something about Carlos. Carlos tuned in right now. He was my only sparring back in Washington. He's my only sparring partner for a long time. He's a tough dude, a durable dude, and a smart guy. That dude is smart. I'm telling you, that guy can fight right there.
And see, I didn't know that. Shout out to Carlos, man. Appreciate you pulling up and showing support to your boy Andrew, Team Lightning. That's what you need to do. That's what's going on, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's Andrew, a good dude.
So in boxing, last question to Andrew, because I know you got to get to training. In boxing, what's something that piques your interest in the sport right now, being that they just getting, jump started from the pandemic?
What'd you say? What are some of the what?
I say, what is something that pique your interest in boxing, being that the live gates are back, and sites are opening back up now?
Yeah. I think they did a pretty decent job during the pandemic of trying to keep the ball rolling. We did see some decent fights. I mean, we saw Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko get at it, and just a couple other big fights. So I guess my main thing is I'm just ready to have the fans back in the crowd, and it's like that's something that we do is that as boxers, we perform, and obviously we go in there and we're ready to destroy, right? We're ready to do what we got to do.
Absolutely.
But we also, without the fans and without the people in the support, then we don't really have the platform to do what we love to do. You know what I mean? So I'm just ready for the fans to get back in there, and I want to see these big fights happen. I know that Wilder and Tyson Fury, I know that there's some weird stuff going on there. I didn't follow that too much, but I'd like to see, what the heavyweight division does and the lightweight division.
What you mean by weird? The arbitration and everything, or what?
Yeah. I didn't follow that too much, so maybe you can fill me in on all that.
Basically they fought February 22nd,
right.
And after that, February 22nd, 2020, then we went into the shutdown with the pandemic.
Right.
During that time, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury was contractually binded to fight later on in 2020.
Oh, but it's no pandemic.
Correct. So there's no way you can have two big names like that fighting in a pandemic with no crowd.
Right.
So the contract sort of expired from the time they had the fight and then the extension and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So Deontay Wilder basically took it to court in an arbitration for his right to face Tyson Fury in a third fight.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, man. That'll be interesting, and then, man, there's a lot of big fights to be made. Obviously, we know about like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, but Errol Spence got to get through Pacquiao now. So,
get through. You think? Okay.
No, y'all know what I mean. You knew what I mean. I think Errol Spence will probably beat Pacquiao, but I do think Pacquiao. It'll be interesting to see what Pacquiao's like after this pandemic, because we haven't seen him in the ring since Keith Thurman.
I have a picture of him. He looks like this.
Oh man, you crazy, man. But you know what I'm saying though. So
yeah.
It's like we'll see, because sometimes those things do happen kind of overnight. And Pac-Man, he's a real athletic guy, and as we saw in the Keith Thurman fight, he is youthful and he still has crack. But it'll just be interesting. So there are some big fights I'm interested in.
Do you support the Paul brothers, and can either one of them get in the ring with you
Okay,
there,
first,
Andrew.
ain't neither of them gonna get in the ring with me. All right, ain't neither.
Okay, one of them get in the ring with you and put work. You know what I'm saying?
No, ain't none of them messing with me. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
So you don't mind. You don't mind them getting paid more than you and a lot of other fighters who blood, sweat, and tears box for real.
No, I mean, I do understand how it could be, offensive and stuff. But it's one of those things where it's like it's out of my control, and what am I gonna do? Just be mad about it? You know what I mean? It's nothing I can handle. So
Okay.
I do find that, like, for example, when I wish that they weren't, like, for example, like the co-main, when you got a championship fight right up, or the main event when you got 2 championship fights right up under. What? That don't make no sense. But I understand. I see both sides of the story. One thing I am happy about, because I don't want to sit here and hate or anything, but it's like one thing I am happy about. One thing I am happy about, I think, is that even just from my job, like I said, I work in like a public boxing gym. It's like I have these kids come in and they're like, "Oh, I want to box. I saw Jake Paul boxing. I saw Logan Paul," and that's cool. It's like it's cool. It's whatever. I don't know. I do hear I've talked to some people that have been in camp with them. I do hear that Jake Paul works hard. I don't know about Logan. Like I said, I've never talked to anybody about him or anything, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it because it's not like legitimate boxing. They're not going to fight for titles, and they're not going to fight real like fighters. So it's like kind of like a sideshow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's not really nothing I have to worry about.
Hey, I appreciate your time there, Andrew Murphy, Team Lightning. Shout out to the whole Bodyhead Island, and shout out to your people back in Washington. Where can they follow you on social media, man?
Go ahead and give me a follow at Andrew_Murphy00. That's my Instagram. I think my Twitter is the same thing, and I have a Facebook page, Andrew Murphy, Andrew Lightning Murphy. It'll be on there.
Hey, and those of you that's out there, it's best to support these fighters on the ground floor. Andrew's on the ground floor doing this thing, man, along with legend Roy Jones Jr. and many others. Final words for your fans before you get up out of here and go hit the bag.
Man, you know it.
Knock off heads.
Words, June 10th, UFC Fight Pass. Watch me. I'll be in there putting on a show. My boy Kevin Newman is headlining it. I've been sparring with him, and he's doing great. And look, I'm just excited to go. I'm ready to go. I appreciate your love. I appreciate you having me on, man. And let's get ready to go. Team Lightning, come on.
Hey, you always welcome that, Andrew. Be safe out there, man. And you kept that Kevin Newman to the end. It would have been good to talk on that. But anyway, till next time, man. We'll talk on it next time.
Okay,
hey,
definitely.
Salute for pulling up, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, take care.